Let's be honest for a moment. There's a certain frustration that can set in for a man past 50 or 60. It's a feeling that your own body, the one that served you so well for decades, is starting to play by a different set of rules. The energy isn't quite what it was, the recovery takes a little longer, and things that used to be effortless now require thought. And a huge part of this puzzle, a piece that's often overlooked, is sitting right there in your fruit bowl. The fruit industry, with the best of intentions, has sold you a simple lie. The lie is that all fruit is a gift from nature, a universal health food you can eat without consequence. But for a man in his prime years, the truth is far more complex and far more critical. Some of the most popular health fruits you're told to eat are actually metabolic landmines, quietly sabotaging your energy, your drive, your waistline, and even your performance in the most intimate moments. Today, we are going to correct the record. This isn't just a list. We are exposing the 5 worst offenders and revealing their powerful, science-backed replacements. This isn't about eating less. It's about making strategic, intelligent choices. It's about understanding that your body's chemistry has evolved and your nutrition must evolve with it. As we dive into this vital information, I'd love to know which country you're watching from. It is genuinely inspiring to see our community of health-conscious men spanning the entire globe. Drop your country in the comments below. And if you are ready to stop guessing and start using nutrition as a precision tool to reclaim your masculine vitality, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We provide clear, evidence-based health advice for men who are serious about thriving, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now get ready, because we're counting down the top 5 fruit swaps, and you absolutely must stick around for the number 1 swap. We'll reveal the common king of fruits that is flooding your system with more sugar than a donut and crushing your hormones. And we'll replace it with a common, delicious fruit that scientists are calling nature's Viagra. I'll even share a little-known secret about the part of this fruit most people throw away that can triple its effectiveness for blood flow. This is crucial information you can't afford to miss. Swap number 5. The pantry staple deception versus the cellular bodyguard. All right, our countdown begins with an item that lurks in pantries across the country. It's often seen as a convenient backup, a quick dessert, but its mechanism of harm is the foundation for everything we need to understand today. The fruit product to eliminate immediately is any fruit cocktail or canned fruit swimming in heavy syrup. A man in his 60s is smart enough to know this isn't a premium health food. But do you know exactly why it's so uniquely destructive to your male hormonal balance? Let's dissect the crime scene. First, the fruit itself is often heated to high temperatures during the canning process, which can degrade heat-sensitive nutrients like vitamin C and certain B vitamins. So you're already starting with a less nutritious product. But the real villain is the syrup. It's typically a bath of high fructose corn syrup or concentrated sugar water. When you ingest this, it's like pouring pure liquid sugar directly into your engine. Your pancreas panics and releases a tidal wave of the hormone insulin to manage this sudden sugar flood. What decades of metabolic research have unequivocally shown is that chronically high insulin levels are a direct enemy of testosterone. Think of it this way. Insulin's primary job is to move sugar out of the blood and into cells for energy. But when there's too much sugar, too often, it signals your body to go into storage mode. And its favorite place to store this excess energy in men is as visceral fat, the hard, dangerous fat deep in your belly. Here is the critical connection. This belly fat isn't just inert weight. It functions like a rogue endocrine organ. It relentlessly produces an enzyme called aromatase. Think of aromatase as a traitor working within your own borders. It finds your valuable masculine testosterone molecules and, through a chemical reaction, it converts them into the female hormone, estrogen. This is the devastating cycle we must break. High sugar leads to high insulin, which builds belly fat, which increases aromatase activity, which actively robs you of your vitality. On top of that, some concerns exist around BPA from the lining of cans, which is another potential endocrine disruptor. So what is this strategic, powerful swap? The must-eat fruit is a bowl of fresh or frozen mixed berries. I'm talking blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Berries are the tactical opposite of canned sugar. They are low glycemic, meaning their natural sugars are bound up in a matrix of fiber. This fiber forces your body to work to digest them, resulting in a slow, gentle release of sugar into the bloodstream. This prevents the insulin spike that triggers the entire fat storage and hormone conversion cascade. But their true superpower lies in their rich content of antioxidants, specifically a class of compounds called anthocyanins, which create their beautiful red, blue, and purple colors. To understand why this is so important, think of oxidative stress as a slow internal rusting of your body's most critical infrastructure, your blood vessels. This rust is caused by unstable molecules called free radicals, and they damage the delicate, single-cell thick inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium. This damage makes your blood vessels stiff, inflamed, and unable to relax. For a man, the health of this endothelium is everything. Healthy, youthful erections depend entirely on the ability of these blood vessels to relax on command and allow a powerful surge of blood flow. The anthocyanins in berries act like a team of cellular bodyguards. They neutralize those damaging free radicals on site, protecting that endothelial lining, reducing inflammation, and preserving the youthful flexibility of your entire cardiovascular system. So, by swapping a can of sugary peaches for a handful of blueberries, you're not just avoiding a hormone killer. You're actively consuming a compound that protects the very mechanics of your blood flow and vitality. Swap number 4, the deceptive density trap versus the hormonal building block. At number 4, we have the great imposter of the health food aisle. It's the so-called health snack you'll see in trail mixes and health-conscious cafes. But for a man over 50 managing his metabolism, it's a concentrated sugar grenade. I'm talking about dried fruit. Yes, raisins, dates, dried figs, and apricots. They absolutely trigger the same damaging insulin response we just laid out. But the real, insidious danger here is what I call deceptive density. When you remove all the water from a fruit, you are left with a shrunken, hyper-concentrated nugget of sugar. Your stomach and brain have evolved to associate fullness with volume. You could eat 15 fresh grapes and feel something, but eating 15 raisins takes seconds and barely registers. Your brain simply doesn't recognize a small box of raisins as a high-calorie, high-sugar meal. You get the massive sugar hit without the corresponding feeling of fullness or satiety. This is a recipe for overeating and a constant state of elevated blood sugar, creating the perfect metabolic environment for that testosterone-killing belly fat to accumulate. Furthermore, many dried fruits are treated with sulfites as a preservative, which can cause inflammatory or allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. And their sticky nature can also be detrimental to dental health, a growing concern as we age. So what's the swap for a truly satisfying, nutrient-dense, and hormonally supportive snack? The must-eat food is the incredible avocado. Botanically, it's a large berry, and for our purposes, it's a nutritional masterpiece designed for male health. It is the polar opposite of dried fruit. Instead of concentrated sugar, it is a powerhouse of healthy monounsaturated fats. And this is a point that cannot be overstated. Your body cannot produce testosterone from thin air. As leading endocrinologists will confirm, healthy dietary fats are the non-negotiable raw material for your entire endocrine system. The healthy cholesterol your body produces from these fats is the foundational building block of all steroid hormones, including testosterone. A chronic low-fat diet is, functionally, a low-testosterone diet. But the avocado's benefits run even deeper. It's also a fantastic source of fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin K and vitamin E. These vitamins need fat to be absorbed, and the avocado provides the perfect package deal. Vitamin E, in particular, is another potent antioxidant that protects cells from damage. It's also loaded with potassium, a crucial mineral for balancing sodium and maintaining healthy blood pressure, a cornerstone of cardiovascular health and, by extension, erectile function. The combination of hormone-building fats, blood pressure-regulating minerals, and hunger-satisfying fiber makes the avocado a true triple threat superfood for men. Swap number 3, the ripeness ripoff versus the prostate guardian. This next fruit is an icon of quick energy, a gym bag staple. But there's a hidden catch related to its ripeness that can turn it from a friend into a metabolic foe. The fruit to be very careful with is a very ripe yellow banana with brown spots. Let me be perfectly clear, I am not demonizing all bananas. A banana that is still firm and has green tips is a fantastic source of resistant starch. This type of starch resists digestion and travels to your large intestine, where it acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. This is great for your microbiome. However, the moment that banana turns fully yellow and starts developing brown spots, its chemical composition has dramatically changed. The resistant starches have almost entirely converted into simple sugars, sucrose and fructose. That soft, sweet, spotty banana now has a high glycemic index, similar to many candy bars. It will give you a quick burst of energy, yes, but it comes at the cost of a significant blood sugar spike. This, as we now know, triggers a large insulin release and contributes to that same cycle of energy crashes and potential fat storage. It's a subtle but critical distinction that turns a decent food into a sugar delivery system. What should you reach for instead? A fruit that offers targeted, scientifically proven protection for a man's most vulnerable gland as he ages. The must-eat fruit is the tomato, and more specifically, cooked tomatoes. Yes, a fruit, and arguably the most important one for a man over 50. Its power comes from a single, remarkable compound, lycopene. Lycopene is the carotenoid pigment that gives tomatoes their rich red color, and its primary mission in the body appears to be the protection of the prostate gland. The prostate is uniquely susceptible to inflammation and oxidative damage over the years, which can lead to benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, an enlarged prostate, and increase the risk of more serious conditions. The evidence supporting lycopene is not just anecdotal. It is robust. In fact, a major meta-analysis published in the journal Cancer Epidemiology and Prevention, which reviewed and combined the results of dozens of individual studies, found a clear and consistent link between high dietary intake of lycopene and a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer. Lycopene is fat-soluble, and it accumulates in the prostate tissue, where it acts like a dedicated guardian, neutralizing cell-damaging free radicals right at the source. But here is the game-changing tip that unlocks its full power. Lycopene becomes exponentially more bioavailable when it's heated and consumed with a little fat. The cooking process breaks down the tough cell walls of the tomato, releasing the lycopene. Adding a healthy fat like olive oil helps your body absorb it. This means that tomato sauce, tomato paste, and tomato soup are far more potent sources of this prostate protector than a raw tomato in a salad. Just ensure you're choosing brands with no added sugar. This simple swap is a direct investment in your long-term prostate health. I'm curious, how do you incorporate cooked tomatoes into your diet? Do you have a favorite sugar-free sauce recipe or a go-to dish like a chili or a soup? Share your tips in the comments. You might inspire someone else in our community. Swap number 2. The mindless sugar drip versus the arterial elixir. The danger with our number 2 fruit isn't just its chemical content, but the context in which it's consumed. This is the fruit you don't just eat, you inhale. I'm talking about grapes. The danger with grapes lies in the mindless hand-to-mouth habit they encourage. You can sit with a large bowl while watching a movie or a game, and before you know it, you've consumed hundreds of grams of high-fructose fruit sugar. It's like delivering sugar to your system as consistently and unconsciously as an IV drip. And to make matters worse, grapes are consistently ranked on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, meaning they often carry a high pesticide residue unless you buy organic. While red grapes do contain some resveratrol in their skins, the sheer volume of sugar consumed in a typical sitting completely overwhelms and negates any potential antioxidant benefit. This constant sugar bath fuels systemic inflammation. Imagine a low-grade, simmering fire inside your blood vessels. This is what chronic inflammation does. It makes your arteries stiff, damaged, and unresponsive. So what's the superior fruit that actively works to extinguish this fire and restore vascular health? The must-eat fruit is the majestic pomegranate. If grapes are nature's candy, pomegranates are nature's cardiovascular therapy. The power is in their unique profile of antioxidants, particularly punicalagins, which are found in the juice and peel and are exceptionally potent at combating oxidative stress. But their real magic for men's health is how they interact with the single most important molecule for blood flow. This molecule is so important, its discovery was awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. I'm talking about nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, or NO, is a simple gas molecule that is produced by the endothelium, that inner lining of your blood vessels. Its job is to act as a powerful vasodilator, meaning it signals the smooth muscles of your arteries to relax and widen. This is the on switch for blood flow. Without sufficient nitric oxide, your blood pressure rises, your circulation suffers, and firm erections become biologically impossible. It's that fundamental. In fact, every major ED medication on the market works by manipulating this exact nitric oxide pathway to make it more effective. The compounds in pomegranates perform a brilliant dual function. First, they act like a shield, protecting your fragile nitric oxide molecules from being destroyed by free radicals. Second, research suggests they actually enhance the activity of the enzyme, enos, that produces nitric oxide in the first place. By eating pomegranate arils, the seeds, or drinking a small glass of 100% pure, unsweetened juice, you are directly supporting the fundamental biological process required for healthy blood pressure, mental clarity, and robust erectile function. Swap number 1, the Sugar King versus nature's Viagra. And here we are, at the number 1 swap, the single most impactful change you can make in your fruit choices to support your energy, your hormones, and your performance. The so-called king of fruits that is secretly crushing your vitality is the delicious but dangerous mango. Let's put this into clear perspective. A single medium-sized mango can contain over 45 grams of sugar. That is more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola. It has more sugar than a Krispy Kreme original glazed donut. While it is natural fructose, your pancreas and liver don't really care about its origin story when it arrives in such a massive, rapid dose. They just see a tidal wave of sugar that must be dealt with, triggering a huge and rapid insulin spike. For all the reasons we've meticulously detailed today, the insulin resistance, the belly fat accumulation, the aromatase enzyme converting your testosterone to estrogen, the subsequent energy crash, making a habit of eating mangoes is like pouring rocket fuel on the fire of hormonal imbalance. It is a dessert, plain and simple, and must be treated as a rare indulgence, not a daily health food. So what is the ultimate swap? The fruit that stands above all others as a champion for male performance? It is the humble, hydrating watermelon. This isn't just about being refreshing on a hot day. Watermelon is the single best food source on the entire planet for a specific amino acid called L-citrulline. This is where the life-changing biology happens. When you consume L-citrulline, it gets absorbed into your bloodstream and travels to your kidneys, where it is converted into another amino acid, L-arginine. Now, L-arginine is the direct fuel, the primary precursor that the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, uses to create that all-important nitric oxide molecule. You may wonder, why not just take an L-arginine supplement? It's a great question. The problem is that when you take L-arginine orally, much of it is broken down by your liver in what's called the first pass effect before it can ever reach your bloodstream. L-citrulline, however, bypasses the liver and provides a much more efficient and effective way to boost L-arginine levels throughout your entire body. The pathway is direct, elegant, and powerful. You eat watermelon, your body absorbs L-citrulline, it converts to L-arginine in the bloodstream. This L-arginine fuels your nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, and blood flow improves everywhere. And now, for the potent secret I promised you. The highest concentration of L-citrulline isn't in the sweet red flesh that we all love. It's in the white part of the rind that 99% of people throw in the trash. By eating a little bit of that white rind, or even better, blending it into a smoothie, it has a neutral, cucumber-like taste. You can as much as triple the effective dose of this natural blood flow booster. This is the simple, powerful secret to turning this delicious fruit into a true therapeutic tool for your cardiovascular and sexual health. So there you have it. 5 strategic, science-backed swaps. This was never about deprivation. It was about intelligent substitution. By understanding the underlying science, avoiding the high-sugar fruits that spike your insulin and send your hormones down the wrong path, and passionately embracing the foods packed with hormone-building fats, prostate-protecting antioxidants, and blood flow-boosting amino acids, you move from being a passive passenger on the journey of aging to being the active architect of your own vitality. Your health in your 60s, 70s, and beyond is not a lottery ticket you hope to win. It is a house you build, one smart, intentional brick at a time. Today, you have learned how to lay 5 of the most powerful foundation bricks available to you. Start with just one of these swaps this week. Pay attention to your body. Notice the difference in your energy and your mood. The power to feel strong, energetic, and capable is not in some magic pill. It is right there on your plate. Thank you so much for investing this valuable time in yourself and your health today. For more evidence-based videos designed to help you build a stronger, healthier, and more vibrant future, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have the notifications turned on. We are truly honored to be on this journey with you. Until next time, stay strong and take care.